Welcome back to League Unlock. Eric and Mark with you guys as we continue our player rankings for North America. Only one position left, and it's, of course, the forgotten heroes of the Rift, the supports. The most, how you win lane right now in the bottom lane, because it's not the AD carries who are popping off.
Yeah, this is the list for those random supports that, hey, you got that big fat wave of CS ready for you, and then the support just says, this one's mine. I'm taking this.
Yeah, or the Phil support Janna mates.
Oh.
Always just roll Janna.
No.
And mistime the shield every single time. But we're counting down these supports ahead of the 2019 NA LCS. There are some new faces, one particularly a new face that should shape the landscape of the NA LCS, but let's start with numbers 10 to 6, and coming in at number 10 on the list is going to be Optics Big. Even though he's returning with Arrow in that bottom lane, even the likes of Vulcan, who's coming in as a rookie, I think he has the potential to still be better than Big in that bottom lane.
I think that when you look at Big and Arrow, the important thing about the two of them together, and especially about Big, is that Big does help Arrow get through the laning phase. He does cover up some of those weaknesses, some of that mismanaged aggression, or not positioning yourself properly there, given the vision around your lane and things like that. Big definitely helps Arrow out in those type of situations here. But then again, when you get to the team fight stage where you're expecting Arrow to be strong and you want things to be going, Big kind of seems to, again, have that same thing that Arrow does eventually and becomes a bit invisible at times.
Yeah, and I mean, Optic obviously didn't really play through their bottom lane much in 2018, and you got to expect that it'll probably be more of the same in 2019. Maybe Crown's not going to be as huge a carry as Power of Evil, so it's going to be a bit confusing there. But then we roll on, talked about Vulcan in at number 9 as the rookie, who he said, I'm already going to get Rookie of the Split right coming into it. Him with Piglet in that bottom lane. I don't have huge hope for that bottom lane, competing against some of the other NALCS teams. So Vulcan's in at number 9.
Right, and this is not anything about Vulcan's ability and skill type of thing. I just think that right now, that pairing of Piglet and Vulcan right now is not strong enough given what else is out there in the NALCS.
Number 8 is the former Clutch Gaming support in Hakuo, the Thresh Prince of NA, the Thresh God, single-handedly ousting TSM from the playoffs. But we already kind of talked about Apollo, how that bottom lane as a whole has definitely fallen off.
Yeah, and I think that when you're looking at Hakuo, yes, he's hitting all those skill shots, which are fantastic if your team is able to follow up on them, get those kills, keep snowballing, those type of things. Fantastic. But one of the big issues that I find with Hakuo and what he's done, and I think was maybe an issue for Clutch Gaming in that summer split, was the vision game. I thought that his vision control, placing it down and controlling, replacing wards, things like that, was not strong enough from his position, just wasn't providing that value for his team.
And number 7, we have JJ, and I know Mark, you think he's a little bit low here, but it's hard to actually put him above any of the top 6 supports in NA, but have no doubt, JJ is a fantastic support in NA and was one of the main reasons FlyQuest got into playoffs.
This was tough, man. This is my boy Ole at number 6 up there. But then, of course, JJ. How am I going to do JJ dirty here when he's right there with Wild Turtle? And again, I talk about these duos. I really think that JJ is the perfect matchup right here in North America with Wild Turtle, finally getting that perfect synergy that he just couldn't develop with other supports like a Biofrost during that time that he had on TSM. I think right here, right now, Wild Turtle, JJ, I think that one has a potential to be great.
I think almost 3 to 7 in NA supports are so close, and you could probably make an argument to switch them any which way. But Ole comes in at number 6 on his new Golden Guardian squad, and people love to, kind of rewrite history now and say that he was never a good support on Liquid, or he was never been a good support in NA. He just chokes on the international stage. No, him and Doublelift were the best bottom lane in NA, and a lot of that was still because of Ole.
Yeah, and hey, they had some issues and they had to work out them there for Team Liquid, but the performances that you saw in North America were stellar, and even occasionally on the international stage, they did not look out of place. But yes, you did have the issues about the confidence and things like that at MSI and whatnot. And I think moving forward though with the Golden Guardians, with a laner like Deathly, who's maybe not as focused on being so lane dominant like a Doublelift was, which didn't exactly mesh up with Ole's playstyle, I think this could work out better for him him on the Golden Guardians.
Yeah, when Ole was at his best, he was roaming on Immortals, leaving Cody Sun in that bottom lane and working with Xmithie there. So Contracts and Ole will definitely be a tandem to look out for in 2019. And just like that, we're on to the top 5, where again, you've got some more North American talent that's actually here. Biofrost comes in at number 5, which is the exact same ranking we had for his AD carry. Stixxay on the ADC list. Still think they're a rock-solid bottom lane.
I think that there's a lot of potential still here to develop, and when we're talking about Biofrost, you have to remember that when Team Solo Mid picked him up, obviously the mechanics were fantastic, but the issue of why they released him was communication, not communicating during stressful times, important times in games where it needed to be keep the communication going. It was not flowing from Biofrost, but on his time with CLG, that story changed. It became that Biofrost needed to develop as a leader in that bottom lane, needed to become someone that was able to communicate consistently, strongly, and to also make the shot calling decisions here. And at times we saw it work out quite well for Clutch Gaming CLG, excuse me. And I think that when this is allowed to develop, and hopefully Biofrost gets a little bit more time here practicing with Stixxay, we can see it reach a new height.
Yeah, I hope they keep playing together for a long time, because they really look like they can be a top-tier bot lane in NA. Coming in at number 4 is TSM's newest and latest support. They seem to go through quite a few. It's Smoothie coming in, and he obviously doesn't have much synergy with Sven. I mean, his time on Echo Fox was hardly even 6 weeks, so we're not really sure what level of Smoothie we're going to get here, but I think he's going to be closer to his C9 form when he comes to TSM, and maybe that is a voice that TSM will need to deal with some of their communication issues.
I absolutely think that this is a voice that TSM will need for these communication issues that they have had this past year. I think Smoothie will be a big part in helping Team Solo Mid regain the form that everybody has known from this organization since the start of League of Legends, and I think that the roaming ability that Smoothie will have here will really open up some other parts of the map here for the likes of Bjergsen to possibly make some more proactive roaming plays.
And then in at number 3, you have Zeyzal, and probably that's the most controversial one on the list, because it's pretty darn high for a guy who basically played on and off for a split, or played for half of a split, but his performance at Worlds were fantastic, and even when he came in to the C9 roster in the LCS, you immediately saw a change. And really, what you've got to take into account for is also his shot calling, and he is so decisive, and Cloud9 follows right behind him. But again, 3 to 7 on this list are pretty darn close, and there's not a big gap.
I think one of the big strengths here for Zeyzal is, yes, of course, the shot calling, that he's able to get Cloud9 on the same page, going towards the same objective, things like that. But I think the important thing here with Zeyzal is that when you look at the two types of styles of supports that you get the pure playmaking guys that always go in on the engage, they're the playmaker. But you do get also people like Zeyzal who are always there to save their teammates, to mitigate the damage going through, to help keep the team fights going, things like that. And Zeyzal is so strong at that for Cloud9. He's able to keep the members like Sneaky alive in these important team fights. That's absolutely one of the key strengths of Zeyzal.
And then we go to the top 2, and it's basically the reverse of AD carries. We had Bang number 1 and Doublelift number 2. Well, it's their support swapped. Core JJ comes in at number 1 and Afro as number 2. I think these are clear-cut in their own tiers for the 2 best bot lanes in NA.
Yeah, and hey, this is one of those times where when we talk about respecting a world championship performance, you got to respect it, but you know, it's a little bit different when you're talking...
Don't respect 2018.
I was going to say, but when you talk about other type of world championship performances, you do need to remember that, yes, is the recent performances, and yes, Bang and Core JJ are world champions, and yes, their recent performances are more so stronger than the other likes of someone like a Piglet here. But when you're talking 1 and 2, I don't see how you don't put right now Core JJ up there at number 1. When you pair him with Doublelift, these two are going to be so unbelievably lane dominant and lane focused here. I don't know how any other bot lane duo is going to find a way to get a lead out of that lane.
And Core JJ has got to come back with an absolute vengeance to North America, because when he came as an AD carry for Dignitas, he kind of quickly became a meme because he was one of the earlier Korean imports to come to NA and did not perform up to the hype. And so people were memeing it pretty hard, but now he comes back as a world champion and one of the best supports on the planet. So he's going to come back wanting to destroy NA.
The real question here is are we going to have Core J play actual supports, or is he going to play the AD carry now that we know that after the All-Stars, Doublelift is an all-caliber Alistar there?
Yeah, maybe we see the Alistair there, and Core JJ goes back to Ezreal. Throw some backwards ultimates again, where he clicks on the icon.
No, thank you.
Who knows? But Liquid will definitely have the best bottom lane in North America when 2019 finally gets rolling.